the Ecuadorian Embassy had a security firm, and because Ecuadorians couldn't get visas to work in the UK straightforwardly, they hired Spanish people. They spoke the language, who were able to work in the UK. And this was a corrupt security firm. The private security industry is notoriously corrupt because it's not an open market, and there's a lot of security theater. And the security firm started working for, through an American company, for an American company called Las Vegas Sands, which was owned by Trump's biggest financial backer. But internally in the firm, they were told by the CEO that they were working for the CIA. And working for the CIA, we know all this because when Julian was arrested, people who were working in this company turned whistleblowers because they found it completely unconscionable that they had been part of this. And they went initially to El País, and then they went to Spanish police, and they handed over a mass of hard drives and emails and so on. So it's very well documented. They were receiving instructions from the United States, targeting Julian's lawyers by name. It wasn't, that there were some CCTV cameras in the embassy. Yes, they were there, but they were secretly installed with audio recordings without telling the Ecuadorians. They were spying on Julian's legal meetings. They were taking recordings, physical recordings, hard drives, transporting them to the United States, handing them over. They were instructed with harvesting our baby's DNA. It was 6 months at the time. And when that happened, one of the security workers in the embassy took me aside outside the embassy and said, "Don't bring the baby in anymore because it's not safe. It's not safe, and they're asking us to do some very strange things." And I tried to get more information, but didn't get much. But he said, "Don't bring the baby in." And at that point, I realized that something really sinister and dangerous was going on. What we found out afterwards, once they had blown the whistle and gone to Spanish police, was that there were plots to poison Julian, plots to have him kidnapped from the embassy in a deniable way, like leave the door open, and then someone took him. We don't know what happened. And this is it's just incredible because we have the so-called Spanish case, which we've known about for 2 years, but we didn't know. We knew what they were saying, that they were working for the CIA, but then recently in September, there was this bombshell story, an incredibly well-sourced story. Over 30 sources, named and unnamed, high-level sources in the US government under Trump, current and former, and confirming that the CIA had tasked plans to assassinate Julian, to kidnap him.
But Trump, during his election campaign, Trump was saying how great Julian was, wasn't he? So it's quite bizarre, this whole thing.
I mean, Trump said lots of things. I mean, I find it very curious that some people decide to take Trump at his word on this one. The evidence is that under the Trump administration, at the highest levels of the Trump administration, there were talks to assassinate and kidnap Julian, and Julian was indicted under the Trump administration. An unprecedented attack on the press was taken under the Trump administration. The Trump administration was at war with the press and wanted to set this precedent, and they chose Julian to set this precedent.